What's poppin', big sippers? It's your girl, the Brittany G.
And Notorious too. And you're tuned into another episode of
Auntie
AunTEA
Talk.
Talk. So y'all already know we're gonna start the show with our sip tea. For today's sip tea, we have Moscato Sangria. Cause it's 1:00.
It's 1:00, baby. Sweet.
Very subtle. Yeah. Very subtle. Not too much.
All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get into our sponsorship opportunities. Each and every week, we are looking for dope black business owners to sponsor AunTEA Talk. We're looking for tea companies, aromatics such as candles, candle waxes, anything to get the aroma going, plugins, whatever it is. Adult beverages, adult games, as well as plant companies.
Your voice went out.
Yeah. As well as plant companies.
And for my minority business owners, we have a tea shop for you to join where we offer promotional opportunities. So if you have a product or service and looking for a unique way to promote your brand or business, hit us up at AunTEA Talk podcast at gmail.com, and that's for promotional opportunities for the tea shop and sponsorship opportunities.
All right, so you ready for the check-in?
Yes, I'm ready for the check-in.
Why you look like that?
Because I ain't got no check-in. I promise you, once I finished it, I'm like, damn, check-in next. What the fuck am I going to say?
It's okay. Well, I have a few things to check in about. If you can think of something, then if not.
Okay.
Alright, so the first thing is our last episode 17, I told y'all that I was working on my office space. And I'm just so proud of myself. Like, I'm not done, and I'm not done because I don't have everything. Like, I'm waiting on the TV, and then I just gotta get a chair for one of my corners or whatever in the room. But overall, the decor is there, the desk is set up, the chair is set up. Like, the space is nice. Ain't it cute?
Yeah,
like,
it's very cute.
I really like my space. My other check-in is I never have Sundays off. This was besides going out of town and stuff, shit like that, this past Sunday was my first Sunday off this whole year. So I haven't been to church since the pandemic hit. It was my first time going to church. I went to church with my sisters and my mama, and I was just so grateful to go. I'm like, I ain't been to church in a minute. Like, I really want to go to church. So we went to church, had a good time. And then I did Sunday brunch too. Haven't done it in a while either. I also I told y'all like 2 episodes ago that I was getting assessed for ADHD, and which I already knew. I got it.
I know I got it. They ain't even got to diagnose me.
Like, I already knew, but I really have it, and we're going through different types of course you can't get rid of it or anything like that, but we're going through different types of ways that I can cope with it without medicine, of course, and holistic ways and stuff like that. And my last check-in is this monkeypox shit is like, it really had me in a frenzy like 2 weeks ago when we heard like New York was going in the state of emergency, and just everything was going on. When the girl came out with the video who broke out in Georgia, at a gas station, whatever the hell she was at, and she was just sharing her story on Instagram and stuff like that. And I was like, oh hell no. Like, of course, it's everybody else. We was spooked about COVID, but I feel like everybody is more spooked about this shit because it's your appearance. It's your physical appearance. Like, niggas,
I can tell if you have monkeypox.
It's like, niggas don't know if you had COVID for real, but you can really tell if you got monkeypox. And I'm just like, man, I can't go through this shit again. I just had got myself like into a place like, man, I lost my daddy from COVID. Like, I'd be down. Like, if something happened to my mama, so I was kind of like down about it. And I was just like, it's all this weird shit happening back to back. And I do remember, like, growing up, I would always hear, like, in the book of Revelation, which is the last chapter of the Bible, they say, like, all these weird things that start happening, like, when the world is about to come to an end. So I'm like, let me read this as an adult so I can get my own understanding from where I'm at right now to see how it is or whatever. So I done started reading that. I started reading that last week. And I went to American Deli to go get me a salad over the weekend, and it was hella pigeons outside, on Fort Birds. And I don't know who But I guess the person who like had just pulled off before I got there or whatever, I came outside, they left their food outside and left it by my tire. So it was like 15, 20 pigeons by my car. So I'm like, oh hell nah. So I'm just standing there like, okay, hopefully they'll fly away. Next thing you know, they started coming towards me. So I'm trying to move, like everywhere I move, they just going around or whatever. I took off running, right? So I ran back in the store. And so the lady was like, she just started explaining to me. She was like, in the book of Revelations, they started saying, like, in the last days, the birds will start eating on your flesh. Like, and something. And she was like, you should read this. It's a good book. And I was like, that's crazy you said that. Because I just started reading that book this week. So she was like, it's really good. You should really read it. So I haven't read it in the past 2 days, but I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to give y'all an update with what I got out of it.
I got something to say about that, though. It's just like, yeah, it's weird shit happening, but is it happening naturally? Like, COVID, man-made.
Yeah.
Then monkeypox shit, man-made. Like, so, are we really at the end, or?
I mean, we'll never really know. I don't think so, but I just like, let me just read this.
Yeah.
let me understand what they really trying to say.
I actually do have a check-in. This weekend, we went, celebrated our friend's birthday. And she actually hit us up the beginning of last week, you know, letting us know. And the whole time I'm just thinking like, I'm gonna have the weekend to myself or whatever. And she hit me with this. And I'm like, oh man, I ain't gonna have the weekend to myself. But anyways, went to Putt Shack in Atlanta. And when I tell y'all, I had an amazing time. Like, I just had an amazing time. I really needed to get out. And I really was feeling myself, like, and when I say feeling myself, like, I mean, on some, I'm that bitch type shit, cause like, even before I had left, I had called Court, and I had called her to ask her a simple thing about a purse, and she was like, I just want to say, before you say anything else, you the GOAT. And I was like, oh damn, well thank you. And she was talking about me doing my hair, and then I just looked good as hell, like I felt good as hell, so I'm thankful for even going to push, because it was between going there or going out on Sunday, and I just chose to go out on Saturday so I could keep my Sunday to myself and do all the things that I need to do on Sundays. But yeah, that's my check-in.
And Tia look like Court said, she to go. Tia be doing her makeup good as fuck. She be doing her hair. I just recently asked her, like, how you be feeling when it's time to do your hair? Because every 2 weeks I be talking to Tia. I'm at the beauty supply store buying some hair, and I'm like, this bitch really be doing her hair. Every style y'all done seen except for them braids. What them lemonade braids.
Yep.
Tia done did her hair every style.
Hey, it's me.
Every style. So yeah, Tia go, and she was looking good as hell on Saturday.
And was.
And when I saw her, I was like, you look cute. What made you dress girly today? Because this is my little tomboy. we tomboys, but she the real tomboy. So, yeah. But you want to introduce our series, or
are we going to start with what we're grateful for?
You right. You right. Go ahead.
Okay, so what I'm grateful for is the current book that I'm reading. Don't quote me on the exact name, but it's the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. It might be a little bit more added to it, but for the most part, 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. But anyways, one of the chapters that I read this week, I actually was supposed to read last week, and I read it this week, and that book saved the bitch life. That's all I'm going to say is that book saved someone's life. So I'm grateful.
Oh, okay. I know what you're saying.
I'm grateful for that book. Because, baby, when I say I was being tested.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, this is what I just read.
Yeah. Yeah, she called me about that. Yeah. It saved somebody's life for real.
For real.
All right, so my check-in, what I'm grateful for this week is I'm grateful for virtual therapy. And I've said it many times, like, therapy was always something that it wasn't always, but the past couple of years, I've been saying, like, I want to go to therapy, I want to go to therapy, I want to go to therapy or whatever. And I just know that with my busy schedule, actually have to go sit in office during the session. I'm sure it's something that I will ultimately want to do. But starting off virtually is good for me. Because at first I was like, I don't know how I really feel about being damn near on FaceTime or a Zoom call for therapy or whatever, but I love it. Like, I get the schedule. We can change appointments at different times, or it's so convenient for me. I really, really love it. So I'm grateful for virtual therapy.
Alrighty. Well, go ahead and introduce what we got going on.
All right, y'all. So we have a 2-part series on self-love. So we're just, we both going through our self-love, our self-care, self-improvement journey currently, and we loving it so much. We feeding into each other. We're teaching each other different shit with different things. We putting each other down on game. We putting y'all down on game too. Like as we're going through this journey.
Y'all
so
welcome. Y'all welcome.
I really do enjoy this part in this season of our life right now.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, this season, this series is actually called the Self-Love Series. And so to pop it off, we're gonna do what?
We're gonna pop it off with tonight's conversation. So if you watched the previous episode, y'all saw us play a card game. So basically that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull from our self-love deck from tonight's conversation. Bow. And yeah, we're just gonna have a conversation about whatever we pull.
Let's get it. I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
The question that I pull is, why do you love yourself?
That's deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Honestly, I can say that's an answer that I'm figuring out right now. I don't have as much as somebody might be like, what you mean you don't know why you love yourself? But I'm going through that self-love, that self-care journey right now. Like, I feel like, of course, naturally, like, oh yeah, I love myself.
Yeah.
But I've done so many things, or accepted so many things, and allowed people or just so many things to happen in my life. It's like, damn, bitch, did you really love yourself for real? But I'm in a new space right now, so I will be able to answer this very, very soon. We're going to come back to that. Why do I love myself? But I do love myself. I'm very worthy of being loving.
Yeah. I agree with Brittany. I actually, a part of the book that I was reading and everything, it was, talking about basically identifying what it is about you. And it's just like, dang. Like, it was really one of those, how like when you go to a interview and they ask you, who are you? Mm-hmm. It's really like a tough question.
Like, I know I am.
Yeah, I can't really verbalize. Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm at that stage now where, okay, yeah, I love myself, but why do I love me? So like she said, and I don't know when I'll be able to answer it, because one thing that I'm figuring out, like, this is a journey. Like, it's no destination. So I don't know when things are going to happen.
Right.
But I will say, I know in the future I will be able to answer that question with confidence and all of that. So yeah. What would you like the last chapter in your book of life to be entitled? Oh, that's a good one. The show. It's the show. Like, it's the last phase of my life. I'm would more than likely be doing the things that I love to do in my life, and I don't know what the last phase where exactly it's gonna be at, but it's the show at the end of the day. Like, it's the show. Period. What about you?
I like the show. This is different, but I'd probably say something like I conquered. I conquered. It's kind of cliche, but no, I really do want to be like, damn, I conquered.
Yeah.
Like, I conquered.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
These are really some hard questions. Because who thinks about that in advance? God, dog.
But I guess it makes you, like, want to ponder your mind, like, what you got going on. But anyway, as a child, is this how you... No, I can already. I ain't even done reading the question. As a child, is this how you imagine your life to be? If not, is it better or worse? Explain. Is this how I imagine my life to be? No, because as I told y'all on a previous episode before, not this previous episode, but on a previous episode, I wanted to be married at 24.
25 for me.
I wanted to start having kids at 26. And be done by 32. I'm 31. You see this left hand? Ain't shit on it, but some bling that's coming off from my nails. I don't have any kids, but that wasn't the journey that God had out for me. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't say it's worse, because that was just an unrealistic lifestyle that I came up for myself or whatever. Yeah. But I'm actually glad that I was not married at 26 or 24 or started having kids at 26, because I'm in a different space mentally. Like, I really feel like if I would have got married, or if I would have taken that route, like, I probably wouldn't even be doing AunTEA Talk right now. I just be like
busy. Well, not even
just busy. Like, I wasn't mentally ready.
Yeah, I know I'm not. Like, even now.
Nah.
And my answer would be the same. Like, no, it's not what I imagine it would be. And is it better or worse? Neither. It's just life. Mm-hmm. Like, I actually love the stage of my life that I'm in right now, because I'm learning the things that I want to learn. I'm on this journey. I'm in this space. One of my friends said to me, "Dang, sis, your ass really be reading." And I was like, what's crazy is I actually like to read now. Mm-hmm. And that's because when I was reading, having to read or whatever, it was shit that I didn't want to read about. But now I'm reading stuff that fueled me. So, yeah, if I did all the things that I said that I want to do at that age, I'm more than sure I wouldn't be in this phase of my life right now where I'm building the best for me for the future. So,
yeah. Right. And it's just like, when I become a parent, I'm not going to say I'm going to have total control over that, because God got to finally say, like, when I'm going to, conceive or whatever. Mm-hmm. But if it's in my hands, I want to be able to provide a certain lifestyle for my kid. And I'm not just saying, like, financially. Like, I want to be, like, mentally ready to be a mom. Like, I want to be able to teach them different things. I want to go on a different type of journey. Like, it's just so much that I want to be able to do. And at 24, 26, or in my 20s period, I wouldn't have done it. Like, I grew up and I matured at God's timing for me. Mm-hmm. Like, I wasn't ready for it. Yeah. So, yeah.
Ditto. If you could evict a person or pain from your heart, who or what would it be and why? If I could evict a person or pain from my heart, I'm going to be honest. The way I'm feeling, I wouldn't evict nobody or no type of pain, because it really has caused me to have the growth and all of that in my life. Like, even the person that I couldn't stand.
Yeah, it taught you lessons.
It taught me lessons in the long run. So, I ain't trying to be like that cliche person where but like, really in my life right now, I don't have no beef, no pressure, no pain, no none of that from nobody. Like, so I really don't have anything or a person that I could evict. What about you?
On this, I straddle the fence, and I straddle the fence because it can go both ways with me. I can evict them, and it's like, I did learn like a lot from that, but that motherfucking Virgo nigga. That motherfucking Virgo nigga to this day. That motherfucking Virgo nigga. And I'm going to just pull my card.
And I'm just going to sip my tea/wine.
Is what you accept from others what you think you deserve? Explain. No. And the reason why I would say no is because when things are happening, you just keep accepting it from it, is because you're usually giving them a benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to accept this from you. I'm just going to accept this from you. You can keep doing this to me, and I'm just going to accept it from you. It's like, damn, I'm giving you for the benefit of the doubt. It's usually, when you're accepting some bullshit from somebody, it's usually somebody that you love, or you care for them or whatever. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna give him the benefit of that, or I sweep it under the rug, or I let it slide this time type thing. But no, it's never, this is what I deserve, but it's what we're accepting. So it's like, to them it might seem to like, well, I can keep doing this shit. Like,
Yeah.
ain't no consequences behind it, or nothing like that. But it's definitely not what I deserve. Hell no, that's not. Even when I wasn't even loving myself as much as I'm loving myself right now, it was never in my mind being like, this is what you deserve. It's just like, benefit of the doubt, or it's because I love you, I let it pass, or because I love you, I just let you keep doing your thing or whatever, or I let it slide. But I don't feel like even a girl that gets cheated on multiple times, or even a girl that get beat on by her dude, I'm sure she's not telling herself like, I deserve this. But it's because I love you, and it's what you're thinking, like what it could be, the potential of what y'all got going on or whatever. That you looking at the further picture or whatever versus that shit right there. But no, I don't think nobody thinks this is what I deserve.
Well, I guess it depends on how you look, because you could receive nothing but good from everybody. So I guess it's just your point of view or whatever on that. So if you are receiving negativity or whatever, nah, I don't deserve that shit. But the positive shit, hell yeah, I deserve that shit because I'm dishing that shit out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it depends on how you look at the question though. Certain situations, yeah. What ways has forgiving the person that hurt you the most helped you grow?
I don't wait.
I won't necessarily say the person that hurt me the most. I would say this. A lot of the hurt that I've endured over the years, times, or whatever, it definitely has helped me to grow. I just mentioned this with the last question. It's helped me grow in the ways of, one, beginning to look at myself in the mirror. Self-reflecting. Like, self-reflection is something that I never did until like 2020, 2021. So once I went through those situations or whatever, and able to self-reflect, it's like, oh dang, yeah, you really was some bullshit in this situation.
Yeah.
You really did some fucked up shit in this situation. So it allowed me to take a look in the mirror and get my shit together or whatever. That would be the best way forgiving has helped me to grow.
Are you and your three closest friends Are you and your three closest friends growing at the same pace? If not, why do you think that is? I mean, I kind of already answered this question earlier.
Let's say 3.
Yeah. I can say 3. 3 of my closest friends, we're growing at the same pace, and even if we're not even just growing in like self-love or whatever, like we all are growing.
Yeah.
I even spoke to one of our friends earlier this week, and then we haven't spoken on the phone in a while. We just spoke on the phone, and they were just like telling me like on their own, like it's just so much shit. Like, I'm not about to accept, like, stuff that we just answer right now. I'm not accepting certain things from certain people no more, and blah blah blah. And they gonna set boundaries, and I was just like, bitch, have you been listening to Auntie talk? Are you really on this journey for real? Like, what's like? So, I really can't say. 3 of my closest friends to me, we're growing at the same pace in our own ways. So yeah, I really can't say that. So I'm proud of this.
If you could, why I keep getting questions about being hurt? Dang. If you could erase a hurt that you caused another, which person would you choose and which pain would you take away? Oh, that's personal. No. Y'all in my business. Don't do that. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, if I could erase a hurt that I caused, pain with my ex. I ended the relationship because I wanted to get to know me, for me, And we had been dating since 17 to 28. So once I hopped out of that relationship, I ended up fucking with somebody else. And I left him with the impression of I'm getting me together, like I ain't really trying to be out here dating or whatever. And then when he found out, the nigga the nigga was hurt because it's like you left me so you can get to know you, but yet you with somebody else. So yeah, that would be the person and the pain that I would take away. Just I guess one, moving in a different way. Mm-hmm. Even if I did still go through with moving on to someone else, but at least being open about it, more open and honest about it. So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, y'all, it's a little simple today, but we got some coming to y'all next episode. Mm-hmm. And again, we use the self-love deck from tonight's conversation. Y'all can catch them on Instagram and order whatever type of deck. They got different decks that you can choose from. And with that being said, we're going to move it right along to our
question of the night.
What you got?
All right, so the question of the night that I have is, if you had a son, how would you raise him in terms of if a female is physically fighting him? So basically, if either he has a girlfriend or if it's a classmate or if it's just a female, she like physically attacks him, how would you raise him? Are you raising him to defend himself regardless of the gender? Are you raising him to just accept the abuse and then go tell? Like, how do you raise him? Because the reason why I chose that as a question tonight is because I still to this day don't know where I stand with it, because of course we're taught a man don't hit no woman, right? But also, if a woman keep hitting you, what you don't defend yourself. Mm-hmm. So what would y'all do in that situation? How are you raising your son?
I always said, like, I think that's gonna be probably one of the hardest things, raising a son for me, because I am one of those person, well, you put your hands on me, I'm put my hands on you type thing. But at the same time, it's like, again, one, we know the physical strength of a man and a woman. Yeah. But if a female is continuously putting her hands on you in just say a relationship, just practice restraining. That's all I can say. Practice restraining the girl. And when I say, I'm not saying going blow for blow. When I say restrain, I mean, bitch, you got me fucked up. I'm hemming your ass up on the wall, like that type of shit. Because at the end of the day, this nigga gonna go to jail from domestic violence, and my son not going down for none of that shit. Yeah. So now you gonna have to, unfortunately, practice that self-control. Just stand your ground, of course.
I just feel like it's so contradicting with this. It is. Because we'll tell our daughters, don't let that nigga hit you. If that nigga hit you, we come to fuck shit up.
But also, are you telling your daughter don't put your hands on a man?
No, but what I'm saying is we'll tell our daughters that, but then we got to tell our sons, restrain yourself. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it is what it is. Because at the end of the day, the son gonna get the most fucked up situation in the long run versus the female. So because of the way the world is set up, unfortunately, son, you got to restrain yourself. Restrain. And when I say restrain, I'm saying you restrain them.
Yeah.
Not necessarily you, but yeah, you gotta have that self-control to like, look, shawty, stop putting your fucking hands on me. If I gotta call the folks, then shoot.
Okay, but what about when that's not I'm saying this when they're a little older, they're dating and shit. But what about when it's a little kid? Because you learn that as a little kid.
Little kids gonna do what the fuck they want to do. Anyways, that's one. But I can't. Again, I started my answer with, that's gonna be one of the most difficult things raising a son because of things like that. I don't know. I literally have to, as it happens,
y'all just answered it for me, because I really
it's honestly not a right answer. It's just shit.
No, it's not a right answer, but I want to see how other people feel about it. Like that, I don't know. Cause part of me like, Don't hit no girl, but it's like, bitch, you not finna keep hitting my goddamn child.
Yeah.
Like, you not finna keep hitting my son. Like, slap that whole little bit of, well, you know. But then it's like, no, you don't hit a woman.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm definitely going to teach my daughters and my son, like,
keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah, keep your hands to yourself.
Keep your hands to yourself.
And if it comes to you, you're going to deal with the consequences. We just pray to God, like, it doesn't go down like that. But you got to be open to it. Like, if a female, if you hit a male, and if he retaliates, you have to be open to that. Mm-hmm. And that's why I say to anybody, like, I'm not condoning no nigga hitting no female any day. Mm-hmm. But if you hit him and he retaliates, you open the door for that. Yeah. Just be ready for it.
Yeah. I agree.
That's the question of the night. We do want y'all to answer that. How y'all feel about this situation? How will you raise your son or our parents? Like, if you already have kids, how are you raising your son in that type of situation? Or have you even thought about having that conversation with your kids yet?
And what are you telling your daughters?
Yeah.
For real.
All right. So, are you ready for the vibe on the me?
Yeah.
The vibe on the me.
Yeah.
The vibe.
Yeah.
The vibe on the me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna let you go ahead.
My vibe on demand is the Zeus Network. I'm not one to really look at ratchet TV anymore. I used to love the Love and Hip Hops and the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but that phase of my life has passed. But baby, when that baddies of the South drop, I got my whole life. And even though that series is still going, I done moved on to Bad Boys Club. And I'm getting my dose of ratchetness. So yeah, Zeus Network, shout out to y'all.
Yeah, hell yeah. Cause back in the day when Bad Girls Club was on Oxygen, me and C's were like, man, we want to go on Bad Girls Club so bad. We want to go to Bad Girls Club so bad. Like, that was our show. Like, bitch, did you watch this episode? Blah, 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 happened or whatever. But I really stopped watching TV. I just started watching TV like last year. And like Tia said, of course, I stopped watching TV, but she wasn't engaging in shit like that anyway. So I think she started watching Baddies ATL first. And then just a few weeks ago, I was at my homeboy house and they had Baddies South on or whatever.
I was watching Baddies South.
Okay. Yeah. So I was like, let me just try these. Because it was interesting. I'm like, shit, these hoes hooking. Let me see, you know. Mm-hmm. So I was like, it's a little too much. But I'm going to just keep watching just to see what happened. And they done swoop me up, you know. So then I watched Bad Boys. I passed Till. I watched Bad Boys, put Till on. I was like, you got to watch it. Because it's just like everywhere I'm going, everybody was like, man, this Bad Boys, Bad Boys, Bad Boys and Baddies.
I had actually put on my Instagram story one Sunday because Baddies South come out on Sundays, and I always get the email like, episode is out, Baddies out or whatever. Mm-hmm. I put it on there. When I said I got a whole bunch of like responses as far as that's my shit. I love that shit like that. But everybody kept talking about Bad Boys Club, and even in my response, I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not watching it. Mm-hmm. I'm not watching it. And I actually had went to my friend's house a while ago, and she was watching an episode of Bad Boys Club. Mm-hmm. And I watched that one episode, and I'm like, bro, you finna have me and her looking at Bad Boys Club, but I never went back to it. Brittany got to talking about it, so yeah, that's what I'm watching.
And see, I didn't even know she posted it or nothing. I just know we randomly was at our friend's house, and we started talking about baddies somehow, some way. One of us brought up baddies, and then when Bria was like, y'all watch Bad Boys? So I'm like, nah, I just really didn't care to watch it. Back in the day when they were first talking about doing the Bad Boys Club, I was like, I would watch it, but I'm like, okay, that might be too much drama. I don't want to go too deep in it. I'm just okay with the baddies or whatever.
Be girling.
But she was like, you need to watch it. Jonathan the Gorilla. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and watch it. And I watched it. And Jonathan the motherfucker. Him up. He a gorilla for real. Till is on the episode. It's on the episode right before That nigga turned into a gorilla. I can't wait until she watch it because she been giving me updates like, okay, I don't watch this and this is how I feel. This is how I feel. I keep telling her, wait until you get to that episode. And I just watched all of this literally last week. I just watched all of it last week. So yeah. But my vibe on the man is, it's so crazy. I had her down for my vibe on the man I had her down in my list of vibes on the man, and then I just randomly saw her. Not randomly, I didn't even think about seeing her. But I did see her on Sunday. Her name is Marissa, and her Instagram is art by Arissa or art_x_Rissa. And she's a dope artist. She paints, she does epoxy, she does like make marble countertops, floors, like she's all around artistic. And I just love her. Like, she a dope ass girl. She's young, 2 kids. She our age, 2 kids, married. Like, she's living a dope life. So.
Oh, so we young.
We young, baby. We young and thriving, ho. We young and thriving. And the people been talking about, we were just saying earlier, somebody.
Y'all, one of my coworkers. Okay, first off, on Bad Boys, they refer to Milan as the old bitch. Like, and I think Milan
he gotta be our age.
I think
he no more than 35.
Our age. But I was telling Brittany how even one of my coworkers was like, shit, went out with her cousins, her older cousins.
Oh, he's 38. He's 38.
Oh, no, he old.
Yeah, he 38. I thought he was like that.
He old. Okay, so, but anyways, like, my coworker kept saying she went out with her older cousins this weekend, and she was like, yeah, you know, they old, so da-da-da. I said, well, how old are they? She was like, they 31, 33, and I'm like, my age? She was like, yeah, your age. Bitch, I'm not old.
Hell nah.
But yeah. So that wraps up the first episode to our self-love series. If you're not already, make sure you're subscribed to AunTEA's Talk Podcast and that you're following our social media accounts, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at AunTEA_Talk. And make sure y'all tap into just the different cards that we pulled into for tonight's conversation. Share y'all views on some of those questions. Tap into our question of the night. What would you do? How would you raise your son when it comes to putting their hands on the female after the female don't put their hands on them? But anything you need to say?
That's it. Y'all make sure y'all just share our shit. Y'all tune in. Comment. Engage. Like she already said. Bye, y'all.
Deuces.